Hello. I have been so deep in thought today. I have so much going through my mind, things I want to talk about, but I gotta start one at a time. So last night I did an online circle in my group, the Rooted Women Circles, which you can find on my Facebook, and should be in my Insta bio links. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that. But I'm doing monthly circles in that group. Hopefully start doing some in person. And last night I talked about sober motherhood and what contributes to our spirals into addiction, addicted behaviors, how we've adapted to survive, how our childhood and the way we've been raised since infancy has impacted our foundational chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, the attachment with our parents, how we've been raised in this world and kind of conditioned into a culture where overconsumption, escapism, and reaching for numbing mechanisms outside of us is so normalized. From coffees to alcohol to cigarettes to drugs to plant medicines to sex to food to TV to exercise. One thing to the next, we are so drawn to addictive behaviors to where we obsess about things. You get so overly attached to anything that seems to lull your emotions or temporarily soothe your nervous system. And these things all will disconnect you from yourself. It disconnects you from your soul, from your body, and it's a disembodiment to continue to reach externally for soothing mechanisms. I think one of the best examples is when a mother stops breastfeeding too early and her baby will continue to reach for external mechanisms to soothe them because they don't have the mother and her breast to bring comfort and security. So that baby will now reach for pacifiers and bottles and their thumb and blankets, anything to suck on that mimics the breast, because that is the biological source of comfort, the energetic source of connection and comfort with mother. And when that is taken away, then they are reaching, unconsciously reaching, because it's an instinct, for anything that will soothe them. And it becomes a lifelong soothing process. That's just one example of how it can develop in us from infancy, but it's a big one and one that not many people talk about. Breastfeeding is not just a means of feeding your baby. It is a means of bonding and connection and building a secure attachment with your mother and getting the most vital and biologically appropriate nutrition and nutrients and energy from mother. Even being in proximity to the mother is a way the nervous system regulates. Body heat regulates. One of the main things I did when my kids ever had a fever, I never medicated it. We breastfed and skin to skin. It's that simple. Nature is so much more wise than we realize. And we've been so conditioned into this modern culture, modern motherhood, that has lost all of the innate wisdom that comes with instinctual motherhood, because we've been raised into a dynamic of going to other people, the supposed experts and knowledgeable people, the ones who paid for educations from government approved schooling and textbooks, by the way, and to rely on external people to tell you what is appropriate for you as a parent, or what things to do as for food, medicine, for the family. And it's crazy how completely diminished our wisdom as mothers has become. Most women come in as mothers and have no idea what they're doing, and I think that's why so many women are choosing to wait longer to have children, because through this feminism, we've been told that you can do anything and be anything and go get that job and go do those 5Ks and marathons and all of the things that give you external rewards and accolades. Some of it may be self-led. I mean, I've done some of those things, and it feels good for a while. But then again, it becomes kind of the same thing of needing to chase the next adventure, chase the next thing to feed that. That's where the exercise and adventures and other things like that can become similar in the way of addiction. What is it that will truly fuel your passion? What about your soul essence brings you joy? And those are the things to nourish. It's kind of that inner child, the inner child healing, where whatever you did as a child, whatever brought you the most joy as a child, is the things that you should be doing now as an adult. For me, singing, going into the forest, swimming. And there's so much to touch on that brings us into expansive motherhood. But what I want to I've talked a lot about the first stage, even a little bit into the second, of purifying the body. And I don't want to stress so much on that phase anymore, because it feels like it's such a trendy topic, and for me, it's actually not the most important one. It's the important starting point, because you have to start to do the thing for the elements of your body to begin to rebalance. But this is more of an elemental process than it is a physical one. The food is the gateway in. And as you start to get in deeper in this awakening process, you realize how little the food actually matters, and how much more getting into the elements of nature, getting out into the wild, foraging, connecting with plants, using the wild spirit of the plants that you find out there, how much all of that will begin to bring you into a deeper connection with yourself and your interconnectedness with nature, being one and the same. We are all sharing the same divine source, that source of knowledge. We all have access to that source of intelligence of the universe if you allow yourself to open up to it. And that is the second stage, awakening your intuition. It's not necessarily just your personal intuition. It is a divine wisdom that runs through you. It is an intelligence that your body knows is truth. That is your intuition. And it's different than like trauma responses. Sometimes we react to situations and think it's intuition telling us not to do something, but it's actually more of a fear response. True intuition is felt in the solar plexus, that third chakra space. And once you don't connect with your true intuition until you get a solid embodiment in your vessel, in your being. It is creating your identity and your sense of self and the confidence in yourself and that sovereignty. Not seeking external sources to validate you, not bypassing your own needs for others, not compromising yourself for others, not diverting to someone else to make decisions for you. It's having a strong voice and a strong sense of self. And with that, your intuition grows. And you know that you understand that sensations that you feel in your body. Because that is also expanded the more you get into a fruit-driven diet, is you become much more attuned to the sensations of your body and what they're saying. It's this elemental wisdom. Each element serves its own purpose. Earth, air, fire, water, ether. And all of those in harmony is where wellness is found and born, reborn inside of you from the inside out. And that isn't just about eating the right foods. It has to do with immersing yourself into the elements, going to freshwater sources, swimming, dancing to move the air, the fires of your system, the fires of your digestive system, sitting in the sunshine, which is also fire, light, energy, barefoot on the earth, which is grounding, walking through the forest where you're going to get you get many elements. When you go walk into the forest where there is also a water source, you're going to be immersed in pretty much all of the elements, which is why that's been such a powerful source of healing for myself and what I want to lead more with others. I've actually had people say, why would I want to pay to go walk through the forest in a group with random strangers when I can go by myself? Well, I love to go by myself. There can be benefit to going by yourself, but sometimes it can help to be guided by someone who has awakened their own connection with the elements to help guide you into opening up to that. And that is what I wish to bring as a natural path of opening up your senses to what's around you and understanding how all of it serves in your awakening process. I call it an awakening process. It's that whole body alchemy, your self-embodiment. That's what it is. It's becoming embodied. And then we got purify, we got awaken, and then we get to the final one, which is expand. And that is how we come into an expansive mothering role. And this is a powerful one because there's so many layers that we have to go through to get in to the expanded mother. And she is the one who leads in the home. She is the matriarch. She is the healer, the homemaker, the guidance for the family, the nurturer. And her knowing, her senses guide the family, and the father, the partner, trusts in her and knows her divinity and her wisdom is true. So to really expand as a mother, you must have a partner who knows and honors that expansiveness that mothers are and evolve into. Because if you're with a partner who wants to be the one who's controlling and calling all the shots and not letting your intuition guide in the mothering role, he's going to stagnate your growth. He's going to unconsciously disrupt the depth of connection and loving support that a mother gives to her children, especially in the early years. And I say this from personal experience, that when that partner, and you can usually tell early on in pregnancy how they're going to show up, if they want to throw their opinions out there but not truly sit in contemplation of where those are coming from and whether there's validity to it, and listening to what their partner has to say as the one carrying the baby, then he is still in an immature masculine state. And it's a hard thing to grasp because I would say many men today are in a highly immature masculine state when they become fathers. And because of that, it disrupts and stalls the expansive potential of mothers. They're almost, and this is a very unconscious dynamic, but I feel like it's kind of intentional collectively, the way women have almost been led to slaughter in hospital birth situations. And I do think it's by design, because when women truly understand the power, wisdom, divine intelligence that they carry, when they are fully embodied in who they are in their own experience as humans, and our capacity for birth and the initiation process into motherhood, then those women won't allow others to overtake their experience. They won't allow others to dictate how they birth. And that means stepping out of the system. which can feel like a threat to you and your baby's survival, except most of the time it is the most liberating experience you'll have. And it will walk you down the path of beginning to question everything and why you do what you do. It will have you questioning this world and the experience we're in and why things are culturally accepted as normal when a lot of them are doing more harm than good, like pushing women out of the home and the way this has diminished the value of motherhood. And then when we become mothers, we feel like we have no value because we were told that all of your value is going out and competing with men in the work world and go and do that business and be a boss babe, money maker. And then when you're home with the children, you're not sure what to do with yourself because you were taught that your value was out there, not here. When in reality, becoming a mother and allowing my intuition and my expansiveness to evolve the way it has as a mother is exactly what got me where I am. It's made me who I am. And I credit motherhood for being the catalyst of my awakening and the continuation of my awakening, because my kids challenge me every day and continue to, because they are also little triggers and reflections of your own life lessons, things that you need to work on and see in yourself. Little reflections of your own. It's your mirror. Your children will serve as a mirror. And that is where motherhood is the most expansive gift you'll ever get in this life, because your own children will be the most true mirror of your life.